suggested that I might watch Star Wars, and someone was like, okay, but if you're going to do it, you have to start here, and then, so apparently they're out of order. And immediately I was like, you know what? Shh. I've made up my mind. Hello everyone, it is Bear, Jing and Opal from the Pomegranate System, and today we are discussing Ali Hazelwood. We're not just going to be talking about her books, we're going to be talking about her as an author as well. Started on ㅅAO3 writing Reylo fanfiction and ended up writing The Love Hypothesis, which came out, I believe, in 2021. I should probably check that. Yeah, September 14, 2021. This came out. Obviously not this edition because this is the Chinese edition. We don't actually own the English one. This book blew up on TikTok. Like, this created a new genre. Feminists in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, math. It's almost like there was like this awakening of like, oh my god, wow, romance. She's a kick-ass scientist. She's really likable. Olive is quite funny. In terms of Reylo, I've never seen Star Wars, so I know it's like apparently a controversial ship because it's like enemies to lovers, but there's too many Star Wars for me to watch. At this point, there's no point getting involved. I tried once, I suggested that I might watch Star Wars, and someone was like, okay, but if you're going to do it, you have to start here, and then, so apparently they're out of order. And immediately I was like, you know what? Shh. I've made up my mind. If I have to actually pay attention to order because they were released out of order, you've lost me. I'm not going to engage in that piece of media now. I know that Ali isn't the only Reylo fic writer to get traditionally published, because I saw a post on Tumblr that was like, what are they giving these Reylo fanfic writers to get all of their stories like this good? Like, it's like addictive. So I actually, as part of my thesis, referenced Ali Hazelwood and the Love Hypothesis. I actually created a chart based on her fanfiction because my thesis was exploring like introverted authors who don't want to do TikTok, who don't have a social media platform. How are they going to get picked up by traditional publishing houses? Because it's coming out more and more, and that's what the research suggests, that publishing houses want to publish authors who already have a pre-established platform. I don't know why people are trying to hide that. That's fine if that's the way you want to go, but I don't know about you. A lot of authors I know hate people and very introverted, shy. So my whole thesis was trying to come up with a solution, and the solution was fanfiction, because it not only demonstrates that you can write a lot to a deadline, but that people will engage with your work. Ali Hazelwood's fics combined have over 1 million clicks, so if a fanfic writer was to approach a traditional publishing house with those stats, it could rival someone that has 1 million clicks on TikTok. So that was my whole thesis, but I digress. Because I love this book. I know people hate it. People hate it because of the age gap, people hate it because of the power dynamic, because he's a professor. Fiction is fiction is fiction, you know? It's really, really good. It hooks you, it's easy to read, the characters are well developed, the tension is well developed, the tension is diffused, it goes into academia politics, and you know what I loved even more? Love theoretically. This was not the second book, this is the third? I think it's the third. I know she did a anthology of between Love on the Brain and this one, but oh my god, Jack. You know that Tumblr meme that's just like, and just when you hit rock bottom, you want to fuck a blonde guy? I didn't think that she'd be able to peak this. For a lot of authors, their debut book is like their baby, and it's the one they spend the most time on, so it's often like one of their better ones. But this, Ali Hazelwood cooked with this one. Oh my god, this man. This man goes in the same category as Fox from Hook, Line and Sinker. I just love a hunky himbo. That is like my type to a T. So, and I got the I love this book so much, I got the hardcover. I think one of the criticisms of Ali Hazelwood that I see pop up a lot is that all of her books are the same. Respectfully, I disagree. That's like saying all romance is the same. Like, it's formulaic. All writing is formulaic. Having majored in creative writing myself, I can tell you that professors and people in the industry want formulaic because that's what sells, that's what resonates. I don't see a problem with this book, with the dynamic between them, because it's fiction, and fiction is where you can explore fantasy, like romantic fantasy. And if there's not a space to explore that in fiction, then what even is the point of fiction? There's a place for everything, and this book just simply has a place in my heart, as does this one. These are the only two books of hers that I own on my shelf. I like to be selective about the books that I own because I want everything on my shelves to be books that I love. I don't think that's controversial. I don't want to just buy books for the sake of having them. I think we need to, as a society, return to the libraries and stop over consuming. You can still hype up books and do reviews getting them from the library. These are not my library books though. I actually love these books. And the Chinese translation by Cheng Hong Na is just, again, a beautiful translation. I said it before, I'll say it again. Translations can make or break a book, and Cheng Hong Na understood the assignment. It is just as steamy and tensiony, and it had all of the elements, like nothing was missed. So if you are a polyglot or bilingual and Chinese is one of your languages, I feel like this is a good book to add to your study blur. There is a narrative online as well that Ali Hazelwood is overhyped and that we need to stop giving fanfic writers traditional publishing deals. Respectfully, again, disagree. I don't think she's overhyped at all. I think she's a good writer, especially considering English is her second language. She's Italian. So the fact that she can write amazing books to this quality is just amazing. Like, I'm sorry, hello? I don't think all of her books are the same. I don't think she's overhyped. I'm really proud of her as a fellow fic writer for making the transition into traditional publishing. When this came out, and when The Love Hypothesis came out too, she was still doing her job as a neuroscientist. She recently quit, I believe, just to focus on writing, because she has a new one coming out also in the sports romance genre, because sports romance is kicking off. I believe it is he's on like the swim team, but yeah, I don't think she's overhyped. I don't think it all sounds the same. That's just romance in general for you. It is a structured medium. I think as well, what I like is that all the science branches are different, which just makes it automatically a different story. I think what I adore about this book in particular is theoretical physics versus experimental physics. When it comes to science, I'm a theoretical girly. I don't like the doing. I don't like lab time. I don't like lab coats. The goggles overstimulate me and it's just icky. But theory is where it's at for me, and that's why I relate so much to her. I relate a lot to Elsie. Ali, even in the notes for this one, was like, this is my most political, like academia politics book. And so I think that I just relate. I think if you're not sure where to start with Ali Hazelwood, the beginning is the best place. Unlike Tessa Bailey, who I just made a video on, I do think you should start at the start and then read Love on the Brain and then read this one. She did release another book earlier this year, Not in Love. I didn't like it as much. It had a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of people were just like, you did it guys, you broke Ali Hazelwood, now she's just writing smut, 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 and every chapter was sex and it was just too much. That wasn't my issue with it. My issue with it is a personal one. Having grown up poor, just the housing instability, the food instability, it just hit a little too close for me, and sometimes I like when books do that. This was not one of those times. This book was a little triggering for me, so I finished it, but I definitely didn't rate it as high. But that goes back to my point, which I made in the Tessa Bailey video, that just because a book isn't for you doesn't mean it's not a good book. It was, again, well written, well developed, characters were there, it had a revenge plot, like, I get it. It just wasn't for me. She has a YA novel called Bride. I haven't read it yet. I don't think I will, just because I'm very particular with my vampires and werewolves, and I have a lore, and I stick to that lore, and any vampire werewolf media outside of my personal tunnel vision lore doesn't exist to me, so I probably won't read it, but I've heard good reviews about that book too. That's it for this video. If you're an Ali Hazelwood girly, let me know in the comments below which books are your favorite, whether you want to rank them, or if you think she's overhyped, let me know why. Let's have a discussion about this. I want this to be a two-way street. If you liked content like this, we have developed a focus, and it is literature, music, and film, which I said in my Sabrina Carpenter Taste album reaction video, and one of my friends messaged me and was like, yeah, obviously that's your niche. And I was like, well, no one told me. No one told me that that was my niche, so you guys let me work it out the hard way. The next video I have planned is about the Umbrella Academy, and I think we're going to rewrite it. I can't with the ending of the Umbrella Academy season 4, especially because they knew it was getting cancelled, so they had ample time to really wrap it up and create a story to be proud of, and I don't think they should be proud of that dog's breakfast of an ending. So if that interests you, stay tuned for that. Subscribe for that. We are going to be cracking open my new ㅅAO3 account and rewriting the ending because what even was that?